6:30.
Time to take a look at the top local stories of the day. The U of I is suspending its programs in China for the semester out of caution from the coronavirus. University leaders describe it as a small number of students. Suspending those programs means those students won't be allowed to travel to China for anything university related.
Police are saying the shooting at Marketplace Mall in Champaign was part of a, quote, ongoing conflict between several people. Bullets hit 5 cars. No one was hurt. No arrests have been made.
A woman was arrested for stealing thousands of dollars from the VFW in Rantoul. 75-year-old Brenda Wise is accused of taking the money over the course of at least 2 to 3 years. Police say up to at least $8,000 were taken, but investigators say it's likely much more. A school indicator does not have enough teachers, so it is asking volunteers to help.
The district has formed a committee to get more adults in the classrooms at Hope Academy. WCI3's Jamie Mays is in our newsroom now live. So, Jamie, this is about discipline.
There are a lot more kids in this building this year, and that can lead to conflicts between them. The school says having more adults around could help curb that.
I'll take a look at it as soon as I'm done with those.
Hope Academy has gone through some big changes this school year.
William Harris Elementary School closed as an elementary school, and then we put those students here.
They went from about 500 to over 700 students. The school had a teacher shortage before they gained all of those extra students. So now there's a bigger need for more help.
More kids, so more opportunities for students to have some difficulty with their peers.
Hope has a larger number of vacancies, which is definitely having an adverse effect on the climate and the teaching and learning.
The district formed a Help Hope committee. Volunteers will have 1-hour time slots to come into the classrooms to assist teachers. You don't need teaching experience, but you must go through a district's volunteer process and background check. Melverta Wilkins just signed up.
And if any part of the community is failing, or if any part of the community is needing help, that is what we do. We all kick in and we support.
The primary goal is to provide support that quality teaching and learning can take place. And sometimes with an additional adult in the room, they can partner up to have different activities.
Assistant Superintendent Jeff Days says there's another goal too.
Dispel a lot of the rumors that this is a wild place or whatever. You've been here. The kids are great here.
I think we're just asking parents to be patient as we feel our way and find our way through, the increase in students and the change in staff.
The first volunteers have already been in the classrooms. There is a volunteer orientation on Wednesday, February 5th. It's at Hope Academy at 6:30. Live in the newsroom, Jamie Mays, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Sounds like some people are definitely going to step up. All right, thank you. And there are teaching assistants at Hope Academy. A district spokesperson says the need for volunteers at Hope has nothing to do with the contract negotiations between teaching assistants and the district. TAs have been without a contract since July. They have another negotiation session on February 26th. Eastern Illinois University used to have more than 10,000 students. It doesn't have as many today, but the school is growing. Numbers for the spring 2020 show their enrollment of more than 7,600 students. That's a 2% increase from last spring, and their third consecutive spring semester of growth. The university started their vitalization project in 2016. Since then, they've seen an increase of more than 1,000 students. Part of that project includes an increased commitment to marketing the school and bringing in transfers from out of state.
Well, it's all about momentum. You know, the process of building on positive news. I think the message is out there that Eastern is booming and doing well, and I think students are voting with their feet by coming our direction. And I think when they get here, there's just a lot of campus excitement.
The amount of freshmen and graduate students stands out for this semester's count. They've seen a 9% increase in both areas just from last spring. Well, high school students are more than just their test scores. At least that's what Northern Illinois University is telling people who apply now.
Yeah, starting in the fall, the school is instituting a test-blind policy. That means it's not having students include their scores in applications. WCIA3's Andy Olson is live in the control room tonight. So, Andy, NIU is not the first to have a policy like this. It's certainly not going to be the last. But what does it mean for students headed to college?
Well, for now, high school juniors are still going to be required to take standardized tests, but NIU makes 3 Illinois universities no longer looking at test scores. Those involved in the educational process think this is just the start. SAT and ACT scores won't matter for future students headed to Northern Illinois. Is it the start of sweeping changes to standardized testing? According to one principal, not yet.
I don't think, at least at this time, it's going to have a major impact on our students. They're still going to prepare and want to do as well as they can on those scores.
Now at NIU, any student over a 3.0 GPA will be automatically accepted. Students below can still get in, but they still won't be required to share their test scores, which Charleston High Principal Trevor Dowdy thinks is good news.
It's kind of silly when you look at students, you're going to judge how they're doing on one test on one day. And so it's just like, this is your only time. If you're going to do this all year long, we're going to give you this test, and we're going to determine. So what if a student doesn't feel well that day? What if they just have an off day, like we all have off days from time to time?
I talked with some college students today about their past test experiences. One student with test-taking anxiety thinks more schools should adopt the policy.
People could not be good academically that well, but they can be good at something else that has nothing to do with that at all, and they'll still be successful.
The state of Illinois requires the SAT to be given to every high school junior on the same day. With no wiggle room of the when, where, or how, Dowdy hopes changes could be coming.
The state-mandated testing is still state-mandated testing, and then it comes from what my understanding is because the federal government's requiring that too. So in my view, being in education 37 years, I'd be great if the state and federal government would get out of the way and let the local schools do what they can do best.
The blind test policy extends to NIU's honors program and scholarships as well. Those will be given out based on GPA. Live in the control room, Andy Olson, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Certainly a big change, Andy. Thanks. Western Illinois and Southern Illinois are the other in-state schools making test scores optional in applications. Both schools announced those plans last year. A teacher in Monticello is being recognized for excellence in the classroom. Jennifer Smith is an 8th grade science teacher at Monticello Middle School. She was nominated for the Golden Apple Award. She's one of 30 teachers who was selected as one of the top educators in Illinois this year. There were over 730 nominations. Smith says her students use a variety of engineering projects with real-world applications.
Teachers put in so much time and effort and energy, and so to have someone consider that and really think about that and nominate you for award is really special, to know that you're making an impact for students.
Gina Romer from Springfield was also nominated. The award recipients will be notified in the spring.
Homelessness continues to be a problem all across Illinois. So what's being done in Champaign County tonight to try and find some answers? Plus, cloudy conditions continue to be the pattern in central Illinois. Kevin's back to let us know what they might bring.
BuyFordNow.com is proud to sponsor WCIA3 News.
Save big money on all of your home improvement projects at Menards. Insulate and save up to 15% on your heating costs with Guardian fiberglass insulation from Knauf. Craft-faced R13 is great for walls and basements. A 40-square-foot roll is $9.99. Keep your engine running smoothly with Shell. Rotella heavy-duty motor oil controls wear, deposits, and emissions. A gallon is just $12.79 right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Chapman's Car Star would like to thank everyone who voted our business #1 for collision repair in the News Gazette's People's Choice Award. Chapman is a trusted name in collision repair. Be assured we're working even harder to remain the team you trust. Thank you.
The DKN Whole Body Vibration Trainer is one of the most popular pieces of equipment on the market today. The plate vibrates, causing your muscles to fire, and gives you a complete strength workout. It can also massage and help with circulation.
At Papa Murphy's, we've got high-class pizza for a low price. Right now, the Chicken Bacon Artichoke Pizza is just $11. Pick one up today for just $11 and enjoy a slice of the good life. We make it, you bake it, Papa Murphy's.
Where's Daddy? Where'd he go?
The 2020 Nissan Rogue. With available Nissan Safety Shield 360. This is all-around protection. Now get a low $199 per month lease on the 2020 Rogue or the 2020 Nissan Altima.
Today on The Morning Show, we showed you which busy intersection was causing delays for the morning commute.
And tomorrow, film critic Chuck Kaplinski will review The Gentleman and The Turning in Friday Flicks.
And a beautiful forecast ahead for Sunday, but some snow will be around before then. We'll let you know when, starting at 5.
Big game coverage on WCIA3 is sponsored by Crossroads Contractor Supply. Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
Here we go tonight, really cold, 17 degrees below zero was the temperature in the Champaign-Urbana area. That is the record that obviously still holds because we weren't that cold today, but it broke a big-time record a year ago. That was set back in 1935, so cold stuff there. What a difference a year can make. We are 50 degrees warmer right now than last year as we sit at 33 in Champaign, Decatur, Taylorville, and Danville. Over the next 12 hours, we'll see the temperatures hovering down near the 30-degree mark, maybe some upper 20s to begin tomorrow, which will set the stage for maybe a little precipitation falling in the frozen form. Take a look at the future track, and you can see as we get after midnight, you're going to see a little bit of blue starting to pop up. It's going to be some very light snow that probably won't last more than, a couple of hours or so. But when it is coming down, you might get some very light accumulations. But if you want to see the snow, again, it's going to be one of those things you're going to have to get up early tomorrow morning because it looks like we're talking 4, 5, 6 a.m. with that snow around. And you can see how most of this is out of here by around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And again, we're talking about just a dusting of snow expected with anything that we actually get. All right, let's take a look at how the rest of the day will shape up in Longview. A high around 39 degrees. A little bit of a mix there. In the morning, Westville 38 and maybe even near 40 degrees over around the Harristown area. Another weak system comes our way Friday night into Saturday. That one doesn't look to be much either, so still no big blockbuster major winter storms here anytime soon. We are going to see a big jump in the temperature, though, by the end of the weekend. Sunday is the day we've been looking forward to. How about that 54-degree high coming up here on Sunday, which is also Groundhog Day, and we're talking just 3 degrees away from the record high of 57. So I don't think we're going to quite get there, but it'll be close. Hey, I'll take 54, whatever. I can't tell the difference between 54 and 57. And that's what we've got for Sunday and Monday, but look what happens. Boom, we fall back down there for next week. But overall, the temperature trend isn't too bad. 28 degrees, areas of fog, some light snow possible. Pretty late tomorrow, high temperature of around 39 degrees. We'll look at your 7-day forecast. Again, Super Bowl Sunday, Groundhog Day, best day on the 7-day. Also my favorite day.
Gold Star Day. Somebody's on a diet for his wedding.
Yeah, so, oh, boy.
What are you going to eat?
Just
Carrot
throw it
sticks?
out the window, man.
Carrot sticks and celery?
One day, just throw it out the window.
Okay,
It's called a cheat day. Yeah.
Is that what they call it? Well, that may be a major cheat.
You got to live a little.
Yeah, a little bit there.
All right, thanks.
Practices got underway yesterday as the Chiefs and 49ers are getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, as for the fans, they're not dieting. We're heading live to Miami to see what they know about each other's team.
Join the WCIA3 sports team. Red Barons, Craig Choate, and Marley Weirda from the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign Sports Desk for the best in local sports coverage in Central Illinois on WCIA3.
The new extra cheesy Alfredo pizza is extra cheese on a 3-cheese blend, on Alfredo sauce, on garlic Parmesan crust, on a collision course with your mouth. The extra cheesy Alfredo pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
How do you earn the highest owner loyalty of any SUV brand? You offer SUVs like EcoSport with intelligent 4-wheel drive capability for whatever, like when the weatherman's not right. Ways to get you around traffic. Smart. And EcoSport is open to any activity with its flexible 60/40 fold flat seats. SUVs perfect for life's adventures. Now, get $5,000 cash back on Ford EcoSport. See your local Ford dealer today.
Take your kids on a Jurassic Quest. See giant dinosaurs, walking dinosaurs that play with you, interactive baby dinosaurs, and the all-new Ancient Oceans exhibit at Illinois State Fairgrounds next weekend. To guarantee admission, get tickets now. Promo code TV at JurassicQuest.com.
Hearing loss can really sneak up on people because
It's confusing because most of the time people are hearing sounds, they're hearing noises, but they actually lose the ability to hear that crispness of speech. So a lot of times hearing loss goes undetected because it can be confusing for people. When they hear sounds, they think, well, I hear fine. That's what my job is, to make sure if they have a hearing loss, what type of hearing loss it is, and see if we can help them understand their friends and family much better.
People are winning with the Viewers Club. Over the past year, we've awarded over $26,000 in prize money. Your chance to win is every weeknight on the News at 9 on X49. Sign up today to receive your Viewers Club card at viewersclub.net.
How can we help you, Eleanor? You think you're possessed?
No, my fetus is. At night, there are sounds inside me. She screams.
Your daughter in your womb.
Yes.
We beg you to hear us, God. We beg you to hear us. We beg you to hear us.
It's the devil inside me.
The Evil season finale, tonight, 10/9 Central on CBS.
The news continues here on WCIA3, your local news leader.
There's an old saying, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
But is that really the case when it comes to the Super Bowl matchup? Our PJ Ziegler is live outside of Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. So you put fans to the ultimate test on this theory.
I did, Jennifer, and know your foe. The Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers have been studying each other for the past 2 weeks in preparation for Sunday's big game, so there really should be no surprises on the field. But what about their fans? How much do they know about their opponent? The answer may surprise you. Grab your popcorn.
Oh, no.
I'm asking 49ers fans Chiefs questions, and I'm asking Chiefs fans 49ers questions. What state do the Chiefs hail from?
St. Louis. St. Louis, Kansas.
What city is the 49ers stadium in?
San Francisco.
How many Super Bowls have the 49ers won?
6.
How many Super Bowls have they won since 1970?
Or was he on the beach?
None. Tell me who the quarterback is of the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, gosh, former Patriots guy, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy?
Not Jimmy Kimmel. Galapagos.
What state do the Kansas City Chiefs hail from?
Kansas City.
All right, Pro or Joe? I'm going to give you a name. You tell me if that guy's a Pro or if he's a Joe. C.J. Beathard.
C.J. Beathard is no longer in the league, so Joe.
Matt Moore.
Matt Moore. A name on the street.
He's Pat Mahomes' backup.
10.
Lower.
9.
Lower.
All right, fine, 8.
Lower.
Really? Okay, 5.
Perfect. As you can see, both the fans of both teams need a little work on their geography, need a little work on some of their rosters. The good news is there's 3 days left until the Super Bowl, so they have plenty of time to study. And by the way, I thought by just asking the backup quarterback if it was a Pro or Joe, they would at least know who Patrick Mahomes and Jimmy Garoppolo's backups were. But as you can see, they need a little work.
A little work? They were guessing Jimmy Kimmel. I think they need a lot of work.
And I even gave that lady a hint. I said his initials are JG, and then I said Jimmy, and then she followed up with, it's not Kimmel. Maybe it's... And the other interesting thing is, I think people think that there are more than 50 states in the United States. Some of them, I think, after I counted today, there are 55 states now in the country based off of what I heard today.
Oh, well, you know, there's a lot of drinking there in Miami going on. So, all right, thank you so much, PJ.
Oh, boy. All right, you just applied for a job, but is a real person actually looking at what you sent in?
There's a new state law when it comes to applicants, what it requires businesses to do.
WCIA3 News is sponsored by Steinmeier Roofing.
Coming up tomorrow on See I Live in Curling isn't just for Canada, it's for CU too.
And violinist Rachel Barton Pines joins us in studio. Set those DVRs for 4.
I wrote 22 thank you notes to everyone at St. Mary's who cared for me while I was here. I was just impressed by the tenure, the attentiveness, the up-close and personal attention I received from everyone. It's unheard of. The level of service that they provided me, they're providing every patient they serve. That means a lot, and I'm grateful that they're all here.
Hello from beautiful Miami. No city has hosted this game more than Miami. They're getting ready to host it for the 11th time, and no team has played in the big game here more than the Indianapolis Colts. They've been here 4 times. The last time, 10 years ago, when Drew Brees and the Saints beat Peyton Manning and the Colts.
This Big Game Fact is brought to you by Butch's Premium Pizza.
Here's the America I know, a country that puts working together ahead of standing apart, where we find common ground to expand health care and build a stronger, fairer economy and save our planet. I'm a problem solver. I build teams. I nurture good ideas. I hold myself accountable for results. It's how I led a complex, diverse city, and it's how I'll unite and lead this country.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Storm Tracker on WCIA3, sponsored by SK Exteriors.
Still snowing in areas.
We track every storm because no 2 storms are the same.
I've been tracking into the...
SK Exteriors Storm Tracker on WCIA3. This is WCIA3 News, your local news leader.
Volunteers are taking to the streets of Champaign County tonight.
They're getting an idea of how many are homeless. It's an annual count mandated by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Those recruited will get an idea for their point-in-time survey. More than 30 volunteers are working in teams to search for people and families experiencing homelessness and gathering information about their housing situations. The Champaign County Continuum of Service provides to the homeless is in charge of the local count. Artificial intelligence impacts how you apply for and land new jobs.
But a new Illinois law is changing how employers use the technology. WCIA3's Jen Lask explains what companies will now be required to do.
If you're applying for jobs in Illinois and recruiters ask for video interviews, companies will now have to tell you if a person watches the video or if they use artificial intelligence to sort through it all. Eastern Illinois University career counselor Bobby Kingery says transparency is good, but
I think for our major employers, we've assumed they've been using it anyway.
Kingery's job is to make sure her students get past the algorithms,
the correct terms, the correct skill sets,
so they can get FaceTime. But both Kingery and her coworker John Marr worry the process has become too impersonal.
Some of these big companies get so many applications, they can't possibly put personal attention on them. But I don't like the idea that your first introduction to an employer is a video of yourself answering questions that goes to a third party.
And even though college students like Hannah Gillespie have grown up with technology right at their fingertips,
unfortunately, I am somebody who's on my phone a lot.
They don't want the screen time, they want the FaceTime.
I think that there's something to be said about physical copies and physical being able to demonstrate your professionalism, but we are a world of technology these days.
There's a complaint about this generation that they are too technology-centered, that they don't like the one-on-one. And what we've seen in our students at Eastern is they crave the one-on-one.
In Charleston, Jen Lask, WCIA3, your local news leader.
In Illinois, the unemployment rate hit a historic low of 3.7% in December. The sectors with the largest job gains included education and health services, hospitality, and government. Sectors that lost jobs were trade, transportation, manufacturing, and construction.
Cloud coverage continues in central Illinois. How long will it last? Kevin's back to let us know.
Plus, we're going to look ahead to our 10 o'clock and let you know what we're covering.
WCIA3 News is sponsored by Bash Heating and Air Conditioning.
At Crossroads Contractor Supply, we have tools, accessories, and equipment. And we have them when you need them.
Crossroads Contractor Supply in Champaign.
Blush lipstick, single swipe, endless color. Long-wearing, comfy satin matte finish, packed with personality. sensational, more you. Plush lipstick, only from Merle Norman. Come in today for a gift with purchase. Find your studio at merlenorman.com.
Take the short drive to Shields Auto Center's new state-of-the-art facility in Rantoul. Just a short drive off I-57, where our newly expanded inventory now features over 300 new and pre-owned vehicles. Shields Auto Center market prices its vehicles, giving you the best value for your money. Most vehicles are backed by our warranty forever with a $0 deductible included. Make the short drive to Shields Auto Center in Rantoul or shop expanded inventory online at ShieldsAutoCenter.com.
We are residential and commercial roofing that's built to last. We are the solution to your leaky roof problem and a guarantee that with us, it'll never leak again. We are SK Exteriors, installers of quality.
When I think of kids going to school hungry, hunger, homelessness, in this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out. Or don't. The choice is yours.
Storm Tracker on WCIA3, sponsored by SK Exteriors. No matter what type of weather is coming, Chief Meteorologist Karen Livey and his team are ready.
It's still snowing in areas.
We track every storm because no two storms are the same.
What are those roads like? But I'm on 74 right now.
And no two towns will feel the same impact.
Storms have been tracking into the...
We're always here. SK Exteriors Storm Tracker on WCIA3.
At Crossroads Contractor Supply, we have tools, accessories, and equipment. And we have them when you need them.
Crossroads Contractor Supply in Champaign.
Reserve your booth space for the Lands Inc. WCIA3 Home and Garden Expo at WCIA.com. Click on Community. Saturday and Sunday, February 22nd and 23rd at Lincoln Square in Urbana.
School nurses help your kids when they get sick during class, but one went above and beyond and saved a student's life.
Coming up tonight at 10, how she's being honored for her actions.
Looking at more cloud cover, a couple of snowflakes possible very early tomorrow morning. A few places could see a dusting. Same Friday night to Saturday, but it is Sunday that we have been raving about all week. That's the day we get to 54 and the sunshine comes back for the entire day.
Oh, glorious.
It would be nice.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
All right, more news at 9 and 10.
We'll see you then.